Hey guys, it's Tina and welcome to my YouTube channel. Why did I cross my arms? So I want to start posting more on this channel. I have a couple videos in the works that I need to edit, but I want to film a book video. I watch a lot of book videos, mostly Haley Fam, then a couple other people, one's named Sarah. I'm going to be talking about the books that I've read so far this year in 2023. I don't have all the physical copies. Some people, like, I let people borrow them, or I listen to a lot of audiobooks. The first book that I read this year, also this is probably like my biggest reading year. I go through phases of reading. I got into reading by reading It Ends With Us like 2 years ago, but I have gone through phases. I've read a lot this year though so far, so that's why I'm making this. So my first is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I do not have the physical copy.
I thought I did.
It is by V.E. Schwab, and it was good. This book, if you know, you know. If you're on Book Talk, like, it's all over social media. Everyone loves it, and I think it's a really interesting concept. It's about this girl named Addie LaRue. It starts in like the 60s. No, not 1960s, like the 1600s, in the 1700s. So yeah, and this girl makes this wish after dark to the gods that like she wants to be free and something along those lines. So they grant her wish by, like, you're not supposed to pray to the gods after dark, whatever. This is all at the beginning of the book too. I'm not spoiling like what really happens. But she basically gets cursed and she like lives through life freely, but people don't remember her after she like goes out of sight. So like she doesn't really have anyone, it's lonely, and you figure out more as you go. It's good. I would recommend it, but it's a bit overrated, I would say. I would rate it like 3.5 stars. I rated it 4 stars on Goodreads, but I don't know if that's exactly true. The second book I read this year, Daisy Jones and the Six. I'm glad I have this original copy because I actually read it right before the show came out, which now they have a new version of it, but I like this one, the OG. Okay, so you probably know about this book. It's by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Taylor Jenkins Reid is probably one of my favorite authors that I've been reading. My favorite by her is probably Malibu Rising though.
So Taylor Jenkins Reid is about this girl.
Well, not Taylor Jenkins. Daisy Jones and the Six. Okay, this girl named Daisy, she's like a singer, she likes writing, she writes songs, basically all the boys walk all over her, and then she joins this band called The Six, and shit goes down. And if you didn't know, it's also a show on Amazon Prime now, which I watched all of with my boyfriend and my friend, and I love the soundtrack. First of all, Regret Me.
Didn't regret me, but I'm beating you to it, dude.
And I would definitely recommend it. I would rate this about 4 stars. It's interesting because it's like interviews, like it says like what the person says. It's not like a normal book. But it was good. I recommend the audiobook because it's like their real voices and it's kind of cool. Okay, the third book I read this year was If He Had Been With Me. I have this, don't I? I don't know. I love a good book that like kind of rips your heart out, makes you cry. If you cry reading a book, you know it's good. The first book that made me cry was We Were Liars. We Were Liars stays in my heart forever. If He Had Been With Me, it's about, what are the characters' names? Oh, Finn and August, yes. I don't know why I said August, because her name is Autumn, and I was literally reading it, and I literally knew it was Autumn, and I said August, so it's embarrassing, truly. Power couple. Basically, it starts, the first couple pages, it says what's gonna happen in the end, but you, like, don't really believe it. It says that one of the characters dies. I don't know if I should say it, but I mean, it says in the beginning. So the boy dies. You know what happens in the end, and then you read it, and you figure out more that happens before, and, like, it's so sad. I cried a lot for If He Had Been With Me. If you like those books, read it. I would rate this, I said 3 stars, but I might have to go back on that and say 4. The fact that I'm still talking about it, like how good it is. Okay, my next is a 5-star read. 5 stars, you know, I don't take lightly. So, Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. Lynn Painter is known for like not having smut, which smut is okay sometimes, but some books it's like gets out of hand. This was like perfect. Perfect. It's about this girl named Liz, and Wes is her neighbor who like she doesn't like, and like they have like this little rivalry going in the beginning, like they prank each other and like whatever. And basically it's like a fake dating, they pretend to date, so this guy gets jealous. You know, fake dating is a plot that I'm getting sick of, but they do it the best. Lots of Taylor Swift references. Read it. Read this before if he had been with me. That's how much I like it. And then after that, I had to read The Do-Over by Lynn Painter. I don't know why this is hardcover and this isn't. Maybe I just bought it that way. But it's kind of annoying. So The Do-Over, it's about this girl. What's her name? It's about this girl named Emily. And it's Valentine's Day. And she kind of has a shit day. And then the next day, the day starts over. And it's the same day. Over and over again, basically, until she gets it right. That's why it's Do-Over. And it's good. I really like it. I like seeing how the day could go differently, because like by the end, like it's a completely different day. And I like that. I thought it was good, but not as good as Better Than the Movies. I would rate it like 3.5 stars. I feel like that's where I go for a lot of them, because 4 seems like kind of a lot. I read Icebreaker. Thought this was cute. I like the like hockey figure skater, like, you know, that's like a good vibe. I thought it would be pretty cute. It is pretty cute. It's very smutty though. Didn't really expect the smut scenes to happen. They would happen so randomly and I was like really thrown off. And the end like just like dragged. It dragged on. I talked to my friend about this book and she thought the same thing. It just kept dragging. But Anastasia and Nathan. Nathan, I picture, you know, like freaking Nathan Scott from One Tree Hill. But he's a hockey player, figure skater. They're in college. Her figure skating partner gets hurt. Like, he steps in, he has a crush on her. You know, typical romance. I do think it was good. It was just dragged on and a bit too smutty for me, which I'm okay with a little, but I rated it 4 stars on Goodreads when I read it. I would say 3.5. I feel like 3.5 is just my go-to number right now. I would say 4, but then I feel like my other ratings just aren't right. I don't know. It's hard to rate. Next, I read, don't have the physical copy, The Cheat Sheet. So it's this dancer. Her name is Bree, and this quarterback, he's like a star quarterback for like the NFL, not NHL, named Nathan. See, I read the cheat sheet right after Icebreaker, and both of the boys' names were Nathan. And I was like, okay, it's kind of hard to separate. It's also sports things, so like, I don't know. Basically, they're best friends. They always have been, but they're like, they like each other. And things happen. I don't know how to go further without spoiling it. I don't really remember it that well, which makes me feel like it wasn't that great. I would say like 3 stars. My next read was something that is talked about very highly on social media. The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. Okay, so The Love Hypothesis is about this student. She's in college, PhD candidate person, named Olive. I like the name Olive for like a book character because it's different than Nathan, and I don't know. So basically she convinces her best friend that she's dating someone because she wants her best friend to like go on a date with this guy, and she doesn't want her to feel bad. And then she goes up to this random guy and kisses him, and then, you know, they continue on life and things, they end up meeting again and things get pretty steamy. I think there's one smut scene in this. I liked it. What did I rate it before? I rated it 3 stars. I would keep it. See, I was getting pretty, it was like the same plot over and over again with these books. They're all like fake dating or like, I don't know. My next book is they both die at the end. Actually, after the Love Hypothesis 2, I'm pretty sure I didn't read for like a couple weeks. I was just like so bored of the same plot and all that. So they both die at the end is a bit different. See, I kind of like these books. It's basically, there's this thing called Deathcast, and it calls, like, the day of your death, they, like, somehow know that you're gonna die, so they call and say, you're gonna die, you can't do anything to stop it, like, do you want a funeral service? Like, they go, it's really weird. But so, the main character, I think his name is Mateo or Rufus. Those are the two main characters. So basically they go on this app called like Last Friend app or something like that. And they meet each other, and then it's like this app for if you're dying. They call them, what do they call them? Deckers. Deckers are what they call the people that are gonna die that day. There's like restaurants that you can go to and get free food if you're a decker, or like things you can do for free if you're a decker, like all this, like, you know, it's like a decker thing. And so they both go on this app for like deckers, or if you want to spend the last day with a decker, you can like apply. And they meet each other, so they spend their last day together. And you like see what they do, and there's actually a prequel to this that I haven't read. But I liked it. I thought it was very interesting and a different plot line than all the other books I read. So that's what makes it good. Also, I feel like this spoils it, but it's LGBTQ, which I didn't actually know going into it, but I liked it. It was like a nice little twist. I mean, I'm straight, but it's still fun to read. Okay, my next book was One True Loves. I listened to this one, and it's actually cool because it takes place near me, where I live. So that was fun to like they said a town near me. I won't say it because I'm going to be doxing myself. But they said it and I was like, oh. I mean, you can read and figure out. It's not that close to me, so I'm honestly not that concerned. But I know where they were, and like, you know, that was kind of cool. And they had like named places that I knew, and I was like, oh shit. But anyways, let's actually get to the plot of it. I was about to like move on. This is also Taylor Jenkins Reid. I feel like I haven't been saying the authors. This one was okay. It's definitely not one of my faves. It's definitely on the lower of her, but it was pretty good. I rated it 4 stars. It's about this girl named Emma who marries her high school sweetheart named Jesse, but there's like an accident, so she moves home, and then she like reconnects with someone else, and more happens, but I don't think I should say because it would spoil, but it gets pretty good. I am remembering it now. There's like a plot twist, you know, and she like is all like confused. I feel like spoilers on the tip of my tongue. Okay, and after One True Love, I didn't read for a while. The next book I read is Beach Read, which I started in Florida like a week and a half ago, and I finished it when I got home. This is Emily Henry. This is my first Emily Henry book. Emily Henry is a very, very talked about author. See, I brought Beach Read to Florida because I thought it would be pretty beachy, summery vibes. It takes place like at the beach, but it's not really like that summery vibes. But it's about these authors. Their names are Augustus and January. January, kind of weird name, but they call him Gus. So it's about them two, and she moves in. It gets this house because her dad dies. This is at the beginning of the book, by the way. I'm not spoiling. Someone dies, and she inherits this house, and she's like needs to sell the stuff inside and like do all the stuff, so she's like living there. And her next door neighbor, and they have like these big windows that you can like see into each other's houses, which I thought was an interesting concept. So they can like see each other, and it's like this cute boy, and she actually knows him from like the past. And so they challenge each other to like this writing challenge thing. They try to write each other's genres to finish a book, and it's good. It's like pretty good. I would rate it like 4 stars. Okay, and after that, I actually read a good amount recently because the summer I turned pretty. I've read it like twice now because I read it last year when the show came out, and now second season's coming out soon, so I'm rereading the books. Well, I finished reading the books. There's 3 books. Season 1 was the first book. Then season 2, I'm assuming, is going to be the second book. I'm hoping they mix a little, though, because not much happens. I was confused by that. Nothing much happens in the second book, honestly. It's like pretty short too. But The Summer I Turned Pretty, I'll talk about the general concept. I can't go into the individual books because then it'll spoil. But it's about this girl named Belly. Belly is a weird name, but her name is Isabel. She has a brother named Steven. Her mom, divorced parents. She just goes with her mom every summer, like all summer, to her mom's best friend Susanna's beach house. And Susanna has two boys named Conrad and Jeremiah. Conrad's the older one, Jeremiah's younger, but only by a couple years. Basically, there's like a love triangle going with them. Their mom thinks they're gonna get married. They're not sure which one. So yeah, a lot of stuff goes down, but I love The Summer I Turned Pretty. It's so good. It's like cheesy, but so good. And that's all that I've read, finished. But currently, I'm reading Happy Place by Emily Henry. I'm listening to it. Let me make sure that is it. Oh, The Spanish Love Deception. I did read that, didn't I? I did. I wrote them all down here. See, I got this bookmark. I don't know why I'm talking like this. From my boyfriend's mom. You can like write down the books that you read this year. I need to add a couple. This like isn't right. Okay. But Spanish Love Deception, the same fucking plot as all the other books. Fake dating. They like don't really like each other. They pretend they don't, and they fake date for something, and then, you know, happily ever after, basically. But if you like those kind of books, yeah, Spanish Love Deception is pretty good. It's a little steamy, I believe, but it's good. Let's think. What's my favorite book that I've read this year? Oh, better than the movies. I'm thinking. And I even listened to this book, and then I bought this physical copy to have. Because the cover's so cute too. It's like all these different rom-coms like vibes. I like rom-coms, so that is all the books that I've read so far this year. There's some YouTubers, like they've read like 20 books this year. But I have a job and school, and I can't read books that fast. I have a short attention span, as you can probably tell. So yeah. But I'm very happy with the book so far. Let's take a thumbnail, shall we? Okay. Say you late to alligators.